Hello to your homegirls. What's up, y'all? It is me, Chris. Hi. As promised, we're continuing with my makeup inventory, and today I'm sharing my face palettes. This is a very exciting category. I just pulled them all out, and I have an insane amount of face palettes. For me, but I use them all for the most part. I love them all for the most part. If I don't, I'll explain why and why I still have it. This can use a declutter, but nothing wild that makes me feel weird or overwhelmed or anything. So I'm okay. I know people have different definitions for what a face palette actually is. For me, my definition is extremely simple. It's a palette that houses multiple products. It can be of the same product. So in my mind, a blush palette is a face palette. In my mind, an eyeshadow palette is a face palette. It's just multiple products in one palette. That's what a face palette is to me. So you're gonna see different kinds of face palettes, and then some eyeshadow palettes that I kind of use all over my face too. So I'm not in a very chatty mood. There is a lot of palettes here, and I'm gonna try to run through them. I'm using natural lighting today on an overcast day, so sorry if the lighting is weird. So yeah, I'm gonna flip the camera around and show you guys what I got. Stick around. All right, y'all, let's do it. I'm gonna try to, I have this little basket, which I keep on the side of my vanity. I'm really outgrowing my vanity. I really need more space, but I have to stop buying product. So these ones in this basket is the ones that I keep closest to me, closest to my reach. Can be the ones that I use the most. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to group, if I have multiple of one brand, I'll try to group them together. So we'll start with BH. This is BH Cosmetics, the Nude Ego collection. I think I've had face palettes in the past, but when I got back into makeup, I think this was like amongst my first face palette. I still love this palette. This is the BH Cosmetics Nude Ego in the Buff Medium to Deep all-in-one face palette. And you can see she is well loved. So are both of these highlighters? I think this is a blush lighter, I guess. This is a highlighter. It's hard panned, but it works. I think these three are bronzers, and then this one is contour. I like every shade in this palette. I love this one the most. It has like the biggest dent. When I first started wearing eyeshadow, this was like, you know, that trick about like blending out your eyeshadow with bronzer. I used to do that a lot with this, and I love this one because it's like shimmering. It's a shimmering bronzer. Both of these are shimmery ones. And yeah, this one's like a contoury shade. This is like a really red bronzer. I love this palette. I would never get rid of it. I still use it. I'm just not, these are true bronzers, like red toned warm bronzers. And I don't do a lot of bronzer for real, but I love this. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Then from the same collection, these are the blush quads, the Flatter Me blush quads, and I have two. One in Unfiltered and one in IDG AF. IDG AF is the cool tone one, I believe. Yep. So you got pinks and berries. I love these blushes. I use them all the time. You guys would have seen, yeah, they're well loved. You guys would have seen my blush collection, and I mostly like cream blushes, and like between these two blush palettes, I don't feel like I need any powder blush. So these are all 4 tones that I will use. It looks like I've never used this one, but I'm sure that I have. Y'all know I love a cool tone pink blush, so that one gets the most use out of here. This is y'all know I love purple blush too. This one gets a lot of use. Beautiful. I love the formula. It's great. And then this one is the warm tone one. This one's fun because you got that bright orange in here. This is like a nudie one. What a beautiful blush palette. Like, perfect. I love them. I love them so good. Yeah, these are my BH face palettes. Love them down. Peter BH, we love them so much. So I'll share next these 2 Beauty Creation palettes. This is from their Corpse Bride collection. These were my first Beauty Creation products, and I was very impressed. This one is the Why So Blue multi-use palette. It's so pretty. Really good job on the IP. They do a good job with their IPs. And I love Corpse Bride. It's one of my favorite Tim Burton movies. I feel like everything from Tim Burton doesn't hit, but this one hits really hard. So you got your mirror here, and then you have a 9-pan eyeshadow palette, and then these are highlighters, and this is gorgeous. These highlighters are so damn pretty. This Moonlight shade is very crazy, very pretty. Oh my God, Baby's Breath. This is a gorgeous palette. It's very, very crazy. Cool tones, you got neutrals, very nice color story, fun color story. I love this palette. I was really impressed with this. A lot of people say that Beauty Creations eyeshadow formula feels like kids formula. I think it's fine. I like it. It doesn't give me any trouble. So that was the multi-use palette. I love that. And then I also have the According to Plan cream contour palette. Amazing. If you love Corpse Bride, like, this collection was beautiful. I have a couple other things from the collection as well. So this is a cream contour palette. Like, and for this to be such an affordable brand, like, this is a very awesome product for an affordable brand. So these are obviously cream contours, but for me, being someone that really enjoys cool tones, I get a lot of use out of these shades. They're not deep enough to contour me, so I use them for other things. But again, I enjoy cool tones, so I can get good use out of them. I mostly use them to cut my crease when I'm doing eyeshadow looks. So if I want to cut my crease with a white, I'll use that. I generally, if I'm cutting my crease, I will use that shade. You can tell that one's used the most. I use them as concealer sometimes, depending on the base that I'm going for. I've never used this one, but that's a really nice, cool toned cream color. And then these are the deepest shades, but I don't really know what to do with them. But I'm a makeup lover. I will find a use. Love. Very good product. I like this a lot. So since I just showed y'all a cream palette, let me show y'all another one. Actually, I have 2 here. So this is Playing in Makeup by Yolando. This is the Evanesce. I think these are concealers. Yeah, I think they're concealers. And this is the medium palette. So in this palette is the shades 208, Tan, Milo, MVP, Lottie, and Lovely. So this is the medium palette. I think it's concealer. Yeah. Her concealer formula went viral, and then she came out with this palette, and I just love how tiny it is. I had a spa day recently, and I packed a makeup bag to do my makeup in the spa when I was done, and I brought this with me, and it's a great multi-purpose product. It can be eyeshadow base, and it can be concealer. This is a very, I use all the colors except this one. I think I just tried the deepest one. This is a very matte formula though, so I have to be careful how I'm using it and make sure that I have moisturizing product underneath. But it's a very good cream concealer palette. Love how tiny it is. Love the different colors. Yeah, I also use this to cut the crease sometimes. Also use as eyeshadow base. Very good. And then since I'm going to show y'all this NYX lip cream palette, I guess I will also pull out my NYX Buttermelt face palette. I'll show y'all the lip palette first. So this is the NYX Pro Lip Cream palette in the plums. I don't know if this exists anymore. I found this like in a clearance bin at a beauty supply store, and I actually love this. I do use it just for lips. I guess I could use it for blush too, but I don't do that. But I've used all the colors. All the colors are really pretty. You got some deep vampy colors, blood red, fun bright pink, nice deep mauve, deeper plummy mauve. These are beautiful colors. I love this. This can be like lip liner, and then I've done really nice lip combos with this. I enjoy this a lot. And when you're a makeup lover and when you like makeup and you'll use makeup for anything, then palettes like that just really hold value in your collection. This is the NYX Buttermelt face palette. NYX kind of ate down the holidays last year, and they killed it with their Christmas collection. So this was part of their Christmas collection, and this is 2 of the Buttermelt blushes and then one of the bronzers, but I use all 3 as blushes. This is Butter Together, You Know Butter, and Feeling Butter. This one I have to play around with more because I feel like it doesn't really show up on me, but I have to use it more to tell. This is so damn pretty. The Buttermelt formula is gorgeous. Like, it's so nice. And then this bronzer I use as a blush. I used it on Thanksgiving. I'll put the video I used it in the cards, and it was so pretty. I love this. This is a really good face palette. I love this a lot. I was never gonna buy the singular ones, so I love that they put a couple in a face palette. That makes it more usable for me. Love this down. Okay, next I'm gonna show y'all my Makeup Revolution face palettes. This is the newest one that I just got. This is the Grease X Revolution Hopelessly Devoted Highlighter Palette. This is so pretty. I had been seeing this all the time, but I was like, I don't need that. And then I finally bit the bullet, found it at TJ Maxx for $6. So I just bought it. It's technically a highlighter palette, but it makes such a pretty blush topper palette. These are really pretty. There's like really pretty, and as you can see, like they're colored highlighters. So they have pretty sparkle in them, pretty blush shades. So to me, this is like a blush lighter palette, and it's gorgeous, so girly. I really enjoy this. I think this was the first Makeup Revolution face palette that I got, and this also is a highlighter palette. This one should get decluttered because I do not use it anymore, but the colors are nice. All of them are pretty nice. And usually with my face palettes, I usually use all the shades. If I don't, I probably won't keep it. What shade was that? Honey? So those are those highlighter shades. I was really impressed with this when I bought it, but then when I started using it, I was like, oh, this kind of sucks. And that's how Makeup Revolution is. All right, this one is the same sizing as the kombucha one. This is Looney Tunes. This is I Heart Revolution. You know Revolution has different sub brands or whatever. How pretty are these colors? I don't use this anymore either, but these are really pretty colors. The shade Sassy is like a pinky white gold highlighter. This one's like pink gold. They're so pretty. Divine Diva, exactly that. And then Goddess, a bronzy. They're really, really, really pretty. And I like that the palette has a mirror. Those are so pretty. I don't use them. I don't use my Makeup Revolution face palettes anymore, but I love them. This is what I mean. Like, this is what happens when you have a lot of makeup. It's kind of hard to get used on all of them. This is the Powerpuff Girls collab, Mojo Jojo. I love Powerpuff Girls. This packaging is so cute. These are pretty. I feel like there's one of them that I cannot, I think it's this pink one that I just like can't pull off. They swatch nice, but I think like when it comes down to it, I think this one, I can't get away with this one as a highlighter. I think it's too light. I guess I can put on my eyes or whatever. But yeah, I just love how cute and tiny this one is. I love Powerpuff Girls. I love Mojo Jojo. Y'all know me. I'm a sucker for an IP. So I want to finish showing y'all my one-offs from like my ones that I use all the time. But Makeup Revolution just made me want to show y'all my Wet n Wild Alice in Wonderland. And I have the bronzer palette and I have the highlighter palette. And I am obsessed with this line. Wet n Wild, I know Wet n Wild gets their props all the time. But this Alice in Wonderland line, they handle business. It's so good. So this is the bronzer palette. This is the Wet n Wild T Anyone bronzer palette. I love the packaging. And as you can tell, I use this thing down. If you watch my videos, I'm sure you caught me using this on some occasion or not. So it's two matte bronzers, a lighter one and a deeper one, and then two, like, I guess, glowy bronzers. So they are not bronzer enough to be bronzers for me, but I use them either as nude blush. I like using bronzer as blush. And the glowy ones I like to use as highlighter. And this is such a pretty formula. It's so nice. I use it as eyeshadow. I use it as blush. I use it as highlighter. This is a great palette. Love her down. Love her down. And then this is the highlighter palette, the Curiouser and Curiouser highlighter palette. Again, adorable girly pop packaging. This one is hard to open, but how pretty. And these are, Wet n Wild does a good bronzer. Wet n Wild does a good highlighter. Wet n Wild does a good eyeshadow. Wet n Wild is that girl. I also have the eyeshadow palette from this collection and I love it so much. How pretty is this? Like, they're so pretty. Where I keep these highlighters is I keep them in a drawer. So that's why they don't get pulled out a lot. But this collection, I have like most of everything from this collection. I think the only thing that I don't have from this collection is the lip products and the cream blush. But yeah, that's Wet n Wild. So now I'm going to show y'all the one-offs from my little bin that's on the vanity top, I guess. So I'll just show y'all the ones that I have. So this is the lip bar. This is the Stay Ready Minute Finish Face Palette. So I love the lip bar. Lip Bar is a Black-owned brand. I think you can find them at Target. They also have their own website. And yeah, I think I was telling y'all, I think this is the medium one. Like, they have a light, medium, deep. So what's in here is a setting powder, a blush, a highlighter, and a contour. But again, this is a medium one. I am not medium, I am deep. But these colors are beautiful, and as you can tell, she gets the love down too. My face palettes show a lot more wear than my eyeshadow palettes do. I guess because the nature of a face palette, you gotta dig a big old brush in here, so they look crazy. But I like that because my eyeshadow palettes don't show wear, and I like that these do show wear. So this face setting powder is so good. It's really nice. Y'all know I like a bright under eye. So this is a good bright under eye setting powder. Only thing is it's not long wearing, but it is a good setting powder. I have a good dip going on in here. This blush is so beautiful. This palette really makes me so interested in the Lip Bar's powder formulas because these are really high end to me, really high impact. Again, the setting powder is not as long wearing as I would hope for it to be, but the pigment, the formula of the powder is just A1. This blush is one of my favorite, like everyday, life in the face blush. It's so pretty. I don't even know what to consider this color. I guess like a pink mauve. It's so pretty. I love it so much. This highlighter also is very nice, very demure. Kind of like white gold highlighter, I guess. It's really nice. It's pretty. And then, of course, this contour is not deep enough to contour me, but sometimes I can throw this in my crease and put this on my eyes, and then that's the insta eye look there. So again, usually with my face powders, I use every shade, or my face palettes, I use every shade in the face palette. If I don't, then I feel like it's not really a face palette and I will get rid of it. So yeah, I love this. This one is like one of my prized possession face palettes. I really enjoy this face palette. Okay, and then, same breath as the Lip Bar. This Sephora one, this is the Sephora Micro Smooth face palette. This is a multitasking baked face palette. This is in the shade Captivate. I think this is the deepest one. So obviously this is like their like older packaging. I think they relaunched these. I don't know if the formula is the same. With Sephora, you don't know what you're getting, honestly. Sometimes you can get something that's like so good and then they repackage, they change the formula. You don't know what you're getting. Sephora does not keep things steady in their rotation. But this face palette, as you can see, this bronzer, you can see like it's a baked face palette. Everything is raised except that bronzer. She got flattened out. Everything in here is stunning. This bronzer is so pretty. These two, this blush is it's so gorgeous. Like it's like a glowing red blush. This formula is sick. People have compared this to Hourglass, and I've never tried an Hourglass face palette. I want to try an Hourglass face palette. This is stunning. This is a highlighter. It also is very pretty. A gold highlighter. And then this is like a glowy blush. This one's glowy too, but this one I guess is like more like blush lighter. This palette is truly stunning. The formula is so high end. This is what I expect if I were to buy an Hourglass palette. I have high expectations because of this palette. I don't know. I know they did something like this again. If you have the new one, tell me, do you like it as much as I love that one? That, again, these two are like prized possession face palettes to me. I really can get down and dirty. This I can really get down to it with this face palette. It's called Minute Finish face palette. I can really finish my face super quick with this. And then this just looks so high end, so like high quality on the face. these are very special to me. Very good face palettes. That's why they're in the everyday drawer or everyday bin. Then I have this. This is my only situation from Glamlite. I wish I had more Glamlite highlighters because if you know, you know, Glamlite has amazing highlighter formula. But this technically is a face and body bronzer from the Hershey's collection. I wish I had more from the Hershey's collection. I have the lip glosses, which I love. I have this. I have the almond eyeshadow palette. I wish I had the milk chocolate eyeshadow palette. Yeah, I wish I had more from that collection. That collection doesn't exist anymore. I love Glamlite, but I don't love them as much as I used to. I kind of feel like they lost their sauce. Their creativity kind of feels like it's watered down now, but you cannot lie about their formula. Their formula is beautiful. So these are technically bronzers, but they are so sparkly. It's like bronzer who, girl? These are like eyeshadow toppers, highlighters. Like, are you kidding me? These are so stunning. Love them so much. I wish I had the highlighter from the Rick and Morty collection, and I wish I had highlighter from the Scooby-Doo collection. And I don't think either of those are available anymore. But if you have a Glamlite highlighter that you love, let me know which one you have. Can't get them anymore. But yeah, Glamlite has amazing formula. That's my only Glamlite palette or face palette. Another prized possession. This is the last face palette in the palettes that I kind of keep on top of or the side of the vanity. This is Unearthly, one of my favorite indie brands. The owner, I think Unearthly and Lethal are like the two like cool girls in the indie lane. Like, they're just them girls and they do fire product. This is the only thing I picked up from the Spring Magic collection, and I just love this art. Spring releases usually suck because I'm someone that loves dark and smoky. So of course, leave it to Unearthly to make a fire spring collection. And this color, the colors, the art, I'm just so obsessed with it. And then this is a palette full of glowy blushes. And you can tell she gets loved down. Like, look at these colors. These are so beautiful. I use this one the most. This is Crystal. It's mauve blush is usually my everyday color blush, so this one gets used the most. This is Alchemy Glowy Orange, a familiar, super pretty hot pink, Ballfire reddish bronzy, Pendulum. Oh my god, this is so freaking pretty. Dark purple. I love purple. Purple is my favorite color. And then Incantation. This one doesn't get used a lot, but it's a stunning color. This formula is absolutely stunning. The only problem is that these are like so hard pressed. And as you can see, they have hard pan. I have to work very hard to get the product onto my brush. And usually when I'm going into blush, I'm using a brush that has been on my face, that has makeup on it. So I wish this formula would have been a little bit more easier to access, but the formula is so pretty and the colors are so pretty that it's worth it. It's worth the work to get it, and love this. I think this is my only Unearthly face palette as well. I have Unearthly single blush. Yeah, I wish I had her face highlighter palette. Oh, that's a beautiful palette. Okay, so these are also on my vanity, but they're like behind my mirror, so they're a little bit more difficult to get to. So we'll start with the Danessa Groundworks palettes. I have both of them. I'll start with Blooming Romance first because I got Blooming Romance first, and I love Danessa. Groundworks was not the first palette from Danessa that I got. My first palette from Danessa was the Lightwork Volume 5 I Am palette. And I guess I could have brought that into here, but I mostly use that for eyeshadow. So I can use it as highlighter, but I mostly use it for eyeshadow. So in my mind, I think of it as an eyeshadow palette. So I was kind of, when this dropped, I was so intrigued, but I was like, I don't know about this. And then, I don't know, I think Sephora had something going on. And then I decided to just pick it up. I used to like revolve around like the tester in Sephora all the time, like trying to figure out if I would enjoy the formula or not. And I finally bit the bullet and I bought it. And this palette is stunning. These formulas are amazing. This has no season. This, I believe, was also a spring release for Danessa Myricks. And obviously it's very flowery, very pretty, very girly, very springtime. But these shades are very deep, smoky, alluring. This shade Allure is my favorite shade in the palette. As you can tell, these formulas are so nice. The pomade and the powder is just a very nice high-end formula. These are true face palettes because you can do anything you want with these. I contour with these. I use these as a blush. Use it as lip liner. Use it as lipstick. Obviously they're eyeshadow palettes too, but I personally don't enjoy them as eyeshadow palettes. I think it requires a lot of work because to get a good eye look from these palettes, you have to use both the pomade and the powder because more pigment comes from the pomade and then you set with the powder. So you kind of need both to get like a good looking, you know, punchy eye look from this formula. So I really consider these more face palettes than eyeshadow palettes, but you really can do anything you want with these. Again, the colors are so like, you can't really find them anywhere else. Like this is just so nice. She really knows how to make things happen for people of all skin tones. I know some people struggle with this formula. This is a very, either you're into it or you're not. But for me, very much into it. I bought this and immediately fell in love. I loved it so much that I had to get Defining Neutrals because I wanted to use Blooming Romance for eyebrows, but it was just too reddy berry colored. So I was like, okay, let me get the Defining Neutrals. So this was the original one. I bought Blooming Romance at Sephora. Defining Neutrals I purchased off of somebody from Mercari unused. And yeah. My favorite color in here is Sculpted. I actually have some of this on today. I contour with it. I use it as lip liner. I use it in my eyebrows. I like the powder in my brows. This formula is wonderful. I also like Mirage. I love all four of these. Get the most use from me. The black pomade makes for a really good liner. These are like warmer, bronzier shades. That's a good color corrector. I'm not the biggest orange person, but it can be used. You can make something warmer with that. Of course, a good gray. Yeah, this is like wonderful. I love Sculpted though. I usually am coming into this palette for Sculpted, for lip liner. I can carve out my brows with it, like highlight my brow. You can do a wonderful like, you know, structure to the eye and then bring a special shade in. Yeah, this is absolutely wonderful. I'm glad that I picked this up. I honestly think Danessa can be the new MAC, like artist-focused product that anyone can use. She just needs to make her, like, her refillable stuff available for people to refill. Because when I finish Sculpted, I want to be able to buy it again so that I can put it in here. And I love traveling with Defining Neutrals because I can do anything with it. I can do my brows, I can do my lip liner, I can contour, I can do all of it. And then if I'm really gonna like be out away, I can pop out some of the shades that I don't use, maybe like these 3 down here, and then pop in some of the shades, my favorite shades from Blooming Romance. And then I have my blush along with all the rest. This palette, you leave all them pencils, all them liners, all them contours, leave that stuff at home. Put this in the makeup bag and you're good. Like, amazing. So good. The Groundwork line is like for people that use like lipstick as blush and, you know, really play around, fool around with makeup. These are immaculate. Okay, this is a one-off. This is technically an eyeshadow palette. This is Uma Salute to the Sun. I think this packaging is very cute. I love the concept. And you open it, it opens up 2-way like that. I don't use this as an eyeshadow palette. I use it as a face palette because these top shades make the prettiest highlighters. Oh my God, these shades are so sparkly and so pretty. They're so pretty. And then I like shades like this for a blush. Same for red. I do love a red blush. Yeah, I've never used this yellow shade. I don't like yellow that much. This blue is not good. I love blue. This does not meet my standards, but I love this. Like, if I'm doing something neutral, I need something like shiny to put on the lid, it's probably gonna be one of these. These are so pretty. Very, very good. As an eyeshadow palette, it's like, what do you do with this as an eyeshadow palette? I think I have done something like with these 2 before, but this yellow is random. I don't like yellow eyeshadow too much, or I don't do a lot of yellow looks, but yeah, this is good. I like this. I don't know. I don't think Uma is, I think Uma sold the brand off, so I don't think it's Black owned anymore. And I think, yeah, that's the only Uma product that I have. Let's go to, this is the Anastasia Glow Kit Sun Dipped. This was a regret. I regret buying this because, as you can see with my face palettes, I really take pride in using every shade in the palette. And this palette, the only shade that I like in here is the bronze shade. Everything else just looks ashy and not good. But I do like that these can be popped out. And I do intend to put together a DIY face palette at some point. So yeah, these, I don't even like them as eyeshadow. So it's not like I can find another way to use them. So this was a regret, one of the regrets in here. They're few and far in between, but this one definitely was a regret. And I knew I shouldn't have got it, but Anastasia is a very hit or miss brand for me. It's either I really, really like the product or I think it's absolutely terrible. Let's do Profusion. Profusion is one of my favorite brands for eyeshadow. I love the eyeshadow formula. I just love Profusion. It's literally top 3 formula for me. Let's start with the eyeshadow palettes. This one, not eyeshadow palettes, highlighter palettes. These are just highlighter palettes. This one I got for free from an order. And it just says highlight, 4-shade highlight palette. It looks like it's from a winter collection because it has like snowflakes on it. I don't know that I've ever used this. I'm sure I swatched it. Yeah, like that's a pretty yellow gold. I don't know if these will perform on the face well. That's ashy. That, and then this bronzy one. Yeah, got it for free. I never really use it. I don't know, I should declutter it, but I keep it. All right, then I have this Big Papa Strobe and Glow 9 shade highlight palette and brush. I got this for $7 at Burlington. This is the only Profusion palette that I have in like this plastic. Like I don't have a lot of the common Profusion ones that a lot of people have, but yeah, there's a lot of pretty colors in here. I think Elated, it's either Elated or Glaze is my favorite. Yeah, Profusion has a pretty good highlighter formula. It's nice. It's like hit or miss though. Sometimes it's really good. And there's some nice colors in here. Cotton Candy, pink, very cool toned, Sugar Crush. Yeah, I think when I bought this, I really wanted like a highlighter palette with a lot of different colors, but I don't reach for it as much as I would like to. But yeah, it's a big boy. And then you guys would have seen me use this Artist Attire beauty portfolio the other day. I remember when I got this, when I ordered this one online, I remember when I got it in the house and I saw it and then I just stared. I stared in awe because this is so my color story. So I'm getting ahead of myself. So it's an eyeshadow palette here, and then it's so big I can't even get it in the frame. It's a face palette there. This is 48 shades of eyeshadow. I typically don't like big eyeshadow palettes, but this doesn't feel that big to me, but I still consider it a big eyeshadow palette because I don't reach for it a lot because there's just a lot going on. But these shades are so stunning. Y'all know I love cool tones, and there's some beautiful cool tones up in here. I used, I used this Apor shade the other day. It was so pretty. I did a halo with this. I used so many colors. Yeah, this palette is really pretty. These shimmers kind of suck, but these ones up here are really nice. They kind of got like a special little flippiana to them. Yeah, I really like this palette a lot. Every time I do a look with this palette, it comes out beautiful. I love the Profusion eyeshadow formula. It's so nice. It's so pigmented, but yet so easy to blend. These shades down here are my type of party. I get upset because of this blue. This blue is great, but then because it's here, I assume that I have some other blues to play with, but it's honestly the only blue up in here. And then the rest of this is literally just different 50 shades of gray. Yeah, I think it's a little too many grays down here. I wish there was a little bit of variation to do more stuff with the blue, but I love gray eyeshadow, so I'm not complaining. But there's so many nice colors up in here. I love these cool, like, let me stop rambling. Okay, love that. And then the face side. So I'm gonna start from the bottom because these blushes are insanely good. And this is, did I mention this is the Artist Attire beauty portfolio, and it's just a cool toned all-in-one face palette. These blushes down here are so beautiful. You have 2 mattes on either side. This Vulnerable Purple is so pretty. I love all these shades. I wear them all. Beautiful, stunning. These are glowy blushes, so pretty. Now, these are supposed to be contours and bronzers, but they don't do that for me. So I use this one and this one kind of as like nude blushes. Again, I love cool tone, so it makes sense for me. And y'all know I like bronzer as a blush sometimes. So yeah, I try to use these as eyeshadow. They don't do what I need them to do, but they can be a good nude blush. And then these are highlighters. This one, Enchanted, is so pretty. It's like a pink blue. It's very nice. Very nice. That one I use the most. Exceptional is really nice too. So I guess these two are my favorite. I use them the most. I think I've used these are wet liners. I'm not the biggest wet liner person, and I have like dip liner in all these shades, so I don't really come into here for wet liner. I think I've used the brown one. I can tell that I used the brown one. And then these are color correctors, which I think is so cool. I've used the orange one before, and I can use these as like eyeshadow base if I need to, but I think I've only ever used the apricot one and the orange one. So this to me is what you call a face palette, baby. I can't use really the bronzers and the contours as what they're intended for, but I still get use out of them. Yeah, this is wonderful. I love Profusion so much. I know y'all gonna get tired of me saying it, but it's the truth. It's one of my favorite brands. I love how affordable it is and how great the formula is. Everything is not a win, but when you get a win, it's such a win. I love this. Love this. All right, so those were my Profusion palettes. We're almost done. Let's do this one off. This is the LA Girl Moonlight Magic highlighting palette. So obviously there's a lot of highlighter in here. I like options for highlighter. Yeah. So this is a 4-pan highlighter. These are cool tone highlighters. Yeah, they're pretty good. I like that there's a big old juicy mirror up here. And yeah, I enjoy these. They're nice. Very demure. And then, so these are two Juvia's Place eyeshadow palettes, but I use them as eyeshadow and face. I'll start with the Blush Rose. This little 6-pan has such a special place in my heart. One, because I just love this color story. I think it's so beautiful. And I used to travel a lot with this because I like for this to be an eyeshadow palette and to be my blushes as well. And then these two shimmers are so pretty. Juvia's Place makes a shimmer that looks really good as a highlighter as well. So this is like a very pretty golden highlighter. And then if I'm doing a cool toned look, this is a really nice cool tone highlighter. It's so pretty. This palette doesn't go as deep as I would like for it to, but I don't know. It's just so good. I can use the mattes as blushes and I can use the shimmers as highlighter, and it's stunning. And I can also use it on my eyes. So it's a good travel companion. You can tell, like, I've worn this thing down. Love her. I do tell y'all that I don't support Juvia's Place anymore, but there's a lot of Juvia's Place in my collection. This is the Festival palette. This palette is so much fun to me. This palette really triggers my creativity, and it's just the colors in here are just so fun and vibrant. I love this palette as a blush palette. I love this as a blush. I love this as a blush. I love that as a blush. I love this as a blush. So there's a lot of pretty blush shades in here for me. And then this one makes for a really nice highlighter. And then just this color story being so weird and odd, it jump drives my creativity and makes me want to figure out a way to use it. And I've had a lot of fun with this palette, and it's one of my favorite Juvia's Place palettes. I really, really like it. I love all my Juvia's Place palettes. It's unfortunate that the founder is a weirdo, but yeah, that's Juvia's Place. I have a lot of other Juvia's Place palettes, but those are the ones that in my mind register as face palettes. Okay, then we're saving one of my favorite palettes in my entire collection for last. This is the Blend Bunny Cosmetics Forget Me Not. This is the Versatile Eye and Face palette. And this is just such a good palette. So you got your mattes up here, and then down here you got these shimmery shades that are to be used as highlighters. You could use them on your eyes. I prefer them as highlighters. I don't really like them on my eyes because they're kind of like this gelée formula that doesn't really, I don't really like metallics on my eyes. I like sparkles on my eyes, but they make very pretty highlighters on the skin. These mattes are stunning neutrals. I have used this shade here as a setting powder. I kind of struggle using pressed powders as setting powder, but this is a good neutral shade for me, a good neutral brightening shade for me. I like this one as contour. I usually mix these two for contour powder, or I just use this one. And then I like Anticipation as bronzer. And I just love all the shades in here. This makes for a beautiful eye look, beautiful for the face. Really good travel companion. I know it's a little big for traveling, but you really can keep a lot of stuff at home if you bring this along. And Blend Bunny's formula is just amazing. I love this palette so much. I love to have her. And those are my face palettes. Hey guys, it's about a week later after filming my face palette videos, and I feel like I ended it so abruptly because I was talking for so long. So I was like, let me film a little outro just to like release y'all from the video. I hope that you all enjoyed watching that. I love face palettes. It's like one of my favorite category of makeup. I love palettes in general, but I really like anything that is multi-purpose and can do multiple things. So I really like a face palette. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed. Let me know which one of mine you liked the most. I can't choose a favorite, but it will probably be the Blend Bunny one because I just love those eye looks so much, and I love that it can be like contour too. I love Blend Bunny. Okay, also let me know what your favorite face palette is that you own. Which one you think that I'd like. Do I need any more? No. Do I have room for any more? No. Will I probably get more? Bye, y'all.